Right, I'll try it again. Hello, Lillie. It's now very, very, very past when I tried to reach you the first time, but however, here we are with Misty, the abandoned kitten. You'll probably be asleep by now, but if I don't get the same chance tomorrow, you'll be able to listen to this. Chapter 7. Over the next few days, even Amy's mum got used to the idea of having a cat. Misty was so sweet and very well behaved. Amy's mum had been worried about her making messes in the house, but Amy's dad went out and bought a litter tray, and Misty soon showed that she was beautifully house trained. I don't think she could have been born feral. Patch was born feral, but I trained her. Hello. I don't think she could have been born feral, Amy's mum said, tickling Misty under the chin. She's so friendly. I'm still worried she's someone's pet. Amy folded her arms and frowned. Well, it was somebody who didn't love her as much as we do, she sighed. Okay, Mum, I promise. We'll give her back if anyone says they've lost her. But she was certain they wouldn't. Misty and Amy still spent a lot of time in the treehouse. It was Misty's favourite place, and Amy loved curling up there with her. But once Misty had proved she could use a litter tray, she was allowed anywhere in the house too. She loved exploring the house. It was full of warm and comfortable places, and Amy's dad was very good to sit on. She was even allowed to sleep on Amy's bed. Since she hated being shut in the kitchen, they had tried it on her first night in the house, but Misty had meowed frantically, and in the end Amy's mum had given in. Now she slept, snuggled up with Amy, or sometimes blissfully curled up on Amy's toes. Amy spent the last of her birthday money buying her toys and a collar, and a pink one that looked beautiful against her black fur. Misty could still remember her old home with Mrs. Jones, but she knew she belonged to Amy now. Mrs. Jones sat in her armchair, staring out at the front garden and stroking Charlie, but she was frowning. It's been a week now. I've seen Jet now, she murmured to the Siamese cat. I hadn't realised because she was only popping in and out even before, but she hasn't been back for her food. She looked down at Charlie worriedly. I have to say, Charlie, you're a bit heavier than you used to be. Have you been eating Jet's meals? She pushed him gently off her lap and stood up, leaning on her stick slowly, and walked to the kitchen, with Charlie trotting after her. Sarah, when did you last see Jet? Said Mrs. Jones, easing herself off the kitchen chair. Her daughter looked surprised. Oh, I don't know, Mum. She glanced over at the cat's food bowls, both of which were empty. Well, she's... What are you doing? You've wrecked the studio. Well, she hadn't eaten her breakfast, so she must have been here this morning. Although I didn't actually see her, she smiled as Charlie wove her around her ankles. It's a pity we can't ask him. Mrs. Jones frowned. I don't think we need to ask him. It's clear exactly who's been eating Jet's food. Look at how plumber he is. Sarah shook her head. Oh no, he wouldn't. Sarah, I haven't seen Jet for a week, and before then she was so flighty and scared that I'd only see her here and there for a second. I think Charlie frightened her away. Charlie's not like that really, but Sarah was looking a little worried. It isn't his fault, said Mrs. Jones. This is his house, after all, but we have to find Jet. I should have realised what was going on, but those new pills Dr. Jackson gave me made me so tired. Poor Jet. She must be starving by now. She doesn't know the area at all. She might have got lost, or she could even have been run over. Mrs. Jones' voice wobbled at the thought. Sarah came over and put her arm comfortably around her mother. Don't worry, Mum. We'll find Jet. I'm sure she haven't gone far. One afternoon, a fortnight after their sleepover, Amy and Lillie were walking back from school, chatting away as their mums followed behind. Dad's going to put in a cat flap this weekend, Amy told her friend happily. Amy told her, but Lillie didn't reply. Amy looked round and realised that Lillie wasn't actually there. She stopped and was looking up at something stuck on a lamppost they'd just passed. Amy went back to see what Lillie was staring at. What is it? Oh no! It was a poster with a photo of a small kitten and the words lost. Jet, a black kitten. Please check sheds and garages in case she's been trapped inside. Contact Mrs. Sylvia Jones. If you have seen our cat, underneath there was a phone number and an address. Amy stared at the poster numbly. Do you think it's Misty? She whispered to Lillie. It looks ever so like her, Lillie admitted sadly. And rose tree claws. It's only round the corner from you, isn't it? Tears welled up in Amy's eyes. I don't want to give her back, she muttered. It isn't fair. Misty doesn't love this, Mrs. Jones. Whoever she is, she can't do, or she wouldn't have come to live with us. And I think how thin Misty was when we first saw her. She mustn't have looked after her properly. Lillie nodded. What are you going to do? Amy looked up at the poster. I could just pretend I haven't seen it, that Mrs. Jones doesn't deserve to have Misty back. I wouldn't feel guilty. Then she gazed at the photo of Misty again. Well, only a little bit. She glanced along the road. Her mum and Lillie had nearly caught them up. She couldn't just tear down the poster. Then Mum would never know. But as her mum approached, Amy could see that she was holding another copy. She must have taken it from somewhere further down the street. Oh, Amy, you've seen it too. I'm so sorry, but it looks like Misty has a home after all. That's not nice. Look at the mess. But how do we know it's her? Amy whispered. She does look very similar, Mum said gently. She didn't like her old home, or she wouldn't have run away. She's ours now. Dad was even going to put in a cat flap. I know, Amy, but someone's missing her. This Mrs. Jones, she doesn't deserve a kitten, Amy sniffed, and Lillie squeezed her hand. We have to take her back, said Mum. Remember, it was our deal. Amy was silent for a moment. There was nothing she could say. I know, but I still think it's wrong. Back home, Misty wasn't in the house running to the door with welcoming meows like she usually did. Maybe she's in the tree house, Amy suggested, but a little seed of hope was growing inside her. If she could find Misty, she wouldn't have to give her back, would she? Amy ran out into the garden and climbed up the tree house, but it was empty. She sat down on the beanbag. It felt warm, as though Misty might have been curled up there until a moment ago. Oh, Misty, I wish I had kept you a secret, she whispered. Please don't come. But then she heard a familiar thud on the boards of the tree house, and Misty jumped from the branch. Their tears spilled down Amy's cheeks as the kitten ran to her, leaping into her lap. Misty rubbed her head lovingly against Amy's arms, and then stood up with her paws on Amy's shoulder and licked the wet tear trails with her rough little tongue. That tickles, Amy half laughed, half sobbed. She picked up gently. Sorry, Misty, we have to go and find Mum. Amy carried her down from the tree house and across the garden. Misty purred in her arms so happily. She was such a different kitten from the nervous little creature Amy had first seen. It felt so wrong to take her back. Oh, you found her. Mum came over to stroke Misty and Amy opened the kitchen door. Please don't cry, Amy. But she looked close to crying herself as she gave Amy a hug. I don't want to give her back either, but we have to. You know we do. Look, shall we wait until tomorrow so you can have tonight to say goodbye? Amy shook her head. No. Would be worse. We should go now. Come on, Mum. Please, let's just get it over with. Alright, I'll call a number on the poster. Rose Tree Close isn't far. We could just carry her there, can't we? Amy nodded and sat down at the table with Misty, half listening as Mum explained to someone on the phone that they had found the missing kitten. With shaking fingers, Amy started to take off Misty's pink collar. Misty wasn't even Misty anymore. She had another name. They're really glad to know she's safe, Mum told her gently, and I said we'd bring her round. She grabbed her bag and they set out. Amy with Misty held tightly in her arms as they walked down the street and along another road to the little turning that was Rose Tree Close. Misty looked around her, curiously wondering what was happening. Amy had never carried her outside like this before. Then all of a sudden, her ears went back flat against her head as she recognised where they were going. Why was Amy bringing her here? She struggled in Amy's arms and meowed with affright as they walked down the path. "Oh, Mum, she doesn't want to," Amy protested, but her mum had already rung the doorbell. The door opened and an old lady stood there staring at them in delight. "Jet, it's really her. Oh, thank you so much for finding her." Amy just stopped herself from shouting, "No, her name's Misty." Instead, she stared at the brooch on the old lady's cardigan, which was a little silver cat with green glass eyes. "Come in, please." "Oh, Jet, where have you been?" Mrs. Jones stroked Misty, and Misty actually relaxed and purred and let the old lady take her from Amy. Amy felt tears starting to burn the backs of her eyes again. This really was Misty's owner. It was true. Her little cat belonged to someone else. And that is chapter 7. And I think this next chapter, Lillie, will be the last one. I hope I've read for a long enough time for you. I hope it's enough. I am sorry that I couldn't read to you on call tonight, but Dad needs to get himself, he needs to prioritise getting himself sorted, because he's letting his priorities slip a little bit. I need to get I need to eat, I need to get food and do all the other bits and pieces and sort out. So I'll try and give you a call tomorrow. Hopefully I can get back home in time. But Dad has to work, unfortunately, in this day and age. Not that you have to worry about that now, but it's hard. It's hard being an adult. I'll say it. Enjoy this while you can, as you listen to Dad's voice. Cherish these moments. Don't ever wish that you're older, so you can do certain things. Just always appreciate the day and appreciate the time and your health. Dad loves you lots, and we'll see you soon.